after you learn this stuff, you're going to want to scream it from the rooftops. These xenoestrogens are synthetic chemicals that are being made by man for improvement of humanity, right? These things were not around before the turn of the century. Now, there are some 70,000 registered chemicals having hormonal effects. 70,000. Cool. Okay, so London, let's get started. We've got some really powerful things for you guys today. So we're going to try to make it real short, simple, sweet, and then leave about the last 5 minutes with instructions on what you guys can do to be empowered and inspired, and then what we're going to be doing for April, because April's spring cleaning, right? Spring cleaning means getting the crap out of our life, the junk out of the trunk that is causing us hormonal distress. Like today, we're going to really dive deep into the hormone code, because we've cracked it. Through London. London has her own story and testimonial on how she's cracked hers. It's been with my formula that I've been developing since I was, 17 years old, since I had my very first pimple, and then it spread all over my face like wildfire, and then I got on birth control, and then I chased all different kinds of birth control, and then I did Accutane, and it pretty much just set a wildfire inside of me that I'm not really sure if I'm able to bounce back from. It's like chemo for the body. So we don't want you guys to have to get to that point either, where chemo is your new reality because of cancer. I'm not sure if you've ever heard this before or not, but synthetic estrogen is the #1 fuel that builds estrogen that creates cancer. Have you guys heard that before? You may have heard me say that before, but I'd really like to hear this on the side. This is not going to be all like doomsday, right? But like, I'm going to start with the severity of the issues that we women today are suffering from, and men too. Because it's not pretty, it's not going away, it's going to get worse unless we reclaim our health. So today we're going to talk about 70,000 different steps that you could, just kidding, we're not going to talk about 70,000 different steps.
Which one are these?
Wait, where did I miss you, Diane, in those notes? So we are going to talk about a lot of things that are going to shock you and then inspire you into taking action, because these are not mainstream things. So London, if you could think of one thing right now, that would be one big, huge positive step that people can take to take better charge of their hormones based on what we did together, what would it be?
Well, they can, I would say first and foremost, just start like caring about what you are putting into your body, and like thinking about, okay, like not only like the food, but like what am I washing my hair with? What kind of lotions am I putting on my body? What types of things am I eating? Like just becoming, I think the first step is what we're doing too together, is like just creating awareness. I think most people have no clue what's affecting their body. So maybe they have low energy and they think they would need to go on a diet and work out super hard, when really that could be taking them in the opposite direction. So I think just really being mindful about like what are we coming in contact with that we have control over in our everyday lives, and really taking the time to take hold of that and educate ourselves, or joining a group like what we have in order to get the best stuff that we have control over into our bodies, on our bodies, and things like that. That would be my #1, is awareness.
Okay. Totally. Nailed it. Now, guys, London came to me last September, and she interviewed me for the Runtastic channel on fitness's impact on sex and sex hormones. And it opened up her mind so much that that's what we want to, this is the movement we want to create. And this is like the start of a wave, right? So right now I think of it like this whole thing like an ocean. And right now the awareness of this topic, it's like a very, very calm ocean. It's like no one really understands what's going on. There's not much movement happening, except for more destruction, and people are drowning in their own toxins. And that's probably the best way of putting it. We don't want you guys to drown. We want you to surf. We want you to be out on the beach enjoying the sunshine and living life. We do not want you to drown. So this webinar, right now we only have like, 15 people on here. So over time, this is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and this movement is going to spread because of your awareness of this. Is going to really frustrate you that no one told you this stuff before. And so we want to start this into a bigger wave that becomes bigger awareness, so people they start saying things like, oh yeah, I've heard of that before. So there are things that are being said, they're just not being said in commercials. They're not being said by your doctor. And I want you guys to check this out. If you have not yet, how many of you guys in the comments, have you seen this article that I wrote about estrogen dominance? I'm going to put this over here on the side because this is really the pivotal point. And don't get too distracted over there. I want you guys to read that later. But I want this to be the pivotal point of helping you guys truly understand how to take charge of our hormones, how to take our life back, how to take our sex life back, how to take our beautiful body back, and understanding the myths. So like London just said, how many of you guys already, by show of yeses out over here on the side, Jana, I love you. We do, we tell it like it is because you guys deserve truth. So how many of you guys have heard from me or someone else what London just said, that exercise could actually be causing more damage to our body? That the whole concept of exercise more and eat less is actually more damaging to our bodies. How many of you guys have heard that versus how many of you are still living that way? So we really want to get an idea of how aware our audience is. Monique hasn't heard that.
Heard of that.
Okay. So let me start by saying that exercise is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It is only bad because of the other stressors that our body is enduring. So how many of you guys take a half hour regularly out of your day to or even just a breath like that? How many of you guys are really setting time for yourself to relax and chill out versus the other side of that, which is, oh, I'm so busy, my calendar's really overpacked, and me, when I woke up this morning, I was like, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. It's not like that a lot of times for me, just lately because some of the transitions I've been going through with my website and stuff, but for most of it, that's our new reality. And our body doesn't know the difference between like stress. You know, when we're working out, our body sees that as just another stressor. It's like, oh my God, more of the same thing, because all day we're running around like this, or we're running from one thing to the next, and we're so overwhelmed and our adrenals are shot, and all of our body sees is that exercise is more of the same of stress, right? So yeah, and Manuela says, I try to relax, but I often feel like I cannot calm down, actually. So this is our brain. We are literally training our brain with our schedules and overwhelm and extra stimulus that it can't calm down. Because if we calm down, we're going to get eaten by a tiger or something. So we need to actually carve this time out to just relax. And I hear everyone saying this too. I don't have time. I really want you guys to consider rephrasing that to, I'm not making the time. Because we all have the same 24 hours in the day, right? We can fill it however we want, but we fill it with what we prioritize. So right now, I'm going to stop and I'm going to transition this webinar. I'm going to say right now to each and every one of you guys, please give yourself a huge hug for making the time to be here today. Please, like I'm hugging you all right now because this is so important. So thank you guys for being here today, and thank yourselves for being here today, because this is probably one of the most empowering webinars you're going to hear, because this is not mainstream, like I said, and this is stuff that's going to change your life. So it's not just this webinar. We're going to talk about what we're going to do today, next month, and moving forward, because like London said, there's a lot of things that are coming at us full steam ahead that are super toxic, that are causing this estrogen dominance, this hormone imbalance, and these are things that no one's really talking to you about. So London, what would you say is the number one thing that was the thing that you didn't know of that you were trying to get off of over this last 5 months we were working together that created your hormonal imbalance?
Yep. I've been very open about this, birth control. So I was on birth control for 11 years. I had tried to get off twice because I did not feel myself. I had really weird mood swings. I had sometimes 2 or even 3 periods per month while being on birth control. I tried tons of different kinds. So like different forms of the pill, patches, shots, like a lot of things. And besides that, I was doing everything I was supposed to be healthy. So I started my fitness journey at 19. I was working out on a regular basis, eating super, super healthy. Not just what I thought was healthy, but really eating really healthy and doing my best, moving, getting 8, 9, sometimes 10 hours per sleep at night. Like I did everything I was supposed to, except for I was exposed to something that was totally destroying me. And I tried to get off birth control twice, and both times my whole entire face, and I've shown before and after pictures on my Facebook page and stuff, my whole entire face was literally like pooping excess estrogen.
Stop
like
it. Say it again. It was wedding?
Pooping excess estrogen. Gosh, it's a tongue twister. Pooping excess estrogen.
Okay, ladies.
Excess estrogen.
Ladies, hear that. We've said this before, and if you're new to us, welcome. But what your body cannot excrete through your urinary tract and through your poops, your princess poops, because they're rainbow and glittery and they don't smell. I mean, in reality, that's what we say to men, but like, you know, we know the truth. It's important to know what your excrement looks like and smells like. And the reason we have all these skin problems and hair loss is because what London just said. Our body has so much of an overburden of estrogen today. And I'm not talking about our own naturally made estrogen. I'm talking about these synthetic estrogens. Our body's like, dude, whoa, think about your schedules and how overwhelmed you feel. And then consider your beautiful liver. Your liver is your garbage disposal, and it has to, you know, sift through all the junk that goes into the sink. And so the number one reason we have hormone imbalance today is because your liver needs more love. And the reason for that is that it is thrown so much junk, and the garbage disposal, for the most part, it's breaking down. And when that garbage disposal switch breaks, that's when we die, right? I mean, that's an extreme way of putting it.
I love what you taught me regarding, because I know a lot of people hear like detox and cleanse, and a lot of people, and doctors included, they say things like, oh, your body is detoxifying naturally on its own, and it's doing all of these things, you know, it's built to detox itself. Okay, cool, yeah, it is. And we have some amazing detoxification organs that work wonders. But when there's like a traffic jam and we're being bombarded with synthetic estrogens everywhere, all of these toxins, creams, like everything we're putting on our body, the air we breathe, everything, like our body wasn't designed with that many toxins and buildups in mind, if you will. And yeah, our body is detoxifying all the time, which is what makes it amazing. And it's so cool, and how it's able to repair itself and detoxify and all of that kind of thing. But like, we're exposed to so much every single day, all the time, that it's like overworked and underpaid. And it's just like, it gets like, you know what I mean? It's just like, we don't give it enough love. It has to work overtime. And it's like, why we're not, you know, I mean, if you think of it as like, I don't know, a worker who's going to be motivated when they're like not getting any love back from us, but then they're having to work and consistently deal with the demand of shit that's trying to come out. Literally. And pass. And that was one of the biggest things I learned from you. It's just like, I always thought I don't need to do detoxes or cleanses or anything like that because my body was designed, it's detoxing itself. But like, no, not when we're like overboard, turbo time toxins. So. Absolutely.
And you just said it. I mean, when you really think about this, and I'm gonna transition you guys over to, first I'm gonna summarize what, and this is gonna be in the future when we get more woman power. And Scott's on here too, so manpower. We've got, you know, really, I would say 95% of the people in my practice and on our team and everything is women. Mostly because we're much more hormonally sensitive to toxins and the overburdens of life. Because if you think about what women, our responsibility primarily was to chill out in a big, beautiful community with other women. And there was, let's say me and London each had like 3 children. And then like Maya and Alex each had 2 children, right? So that's like 10 kids running around. And like, well, okay, Maya has to go over here. She's sick. Okay, don't worry, Maya. I'm going to take care of your 2 kids. I got Novi and whatever your other child is that I just made up. But that's what we did. We hook each other up, And as such, there was this amazing abundance of what's called oxytocin. I want to hear, have you guys ever heard of oxytocin, right? Oxytocin is something that if you have not yet heard of the radio show, we actually, in an hour here, we're going to be interviewing Dave Asprey of Bulletproof Coffee for our radio show. Kat's over here, Dr. Kat. She's our sex therapist, and she's amazing. And we talk about sex and sex hormones and bringing oxytocin back into our life so we can enjoy our lives and have enough energy and hormone balance. Oxytocin is what we create. Has anybody heard of this? When we have a child, highest amount of oxytocin ever when we deliver our baby. It binds us to each other. Oxytocin is also highest when we climax, when we orgasm, when we're connecting to our partners. Oxytocin is also highest when we are bonding with other women. And
we're snuggling, right?
Yeah,
the snuggle hormone.
Love it.
I learned that from Dr. Kat on your radio show.
Yeah.
The snuggle hormone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if you guys haven't yet heard of our radio show, that's just a side note, more hormone. I want you guys to know that this is the #1 resource for you for hormone balance and love. And it's the whole team that we've got here. It's the whole culture. It's oxytocin is highest when we provide unconditional love. And right now we are running around all over the place and we're not able to do that. When oxytocin is low, so too do all of our sex hormones drop with it. Our estrogen's down. God, painful sex. Estrogen, and I'm going to get to this. So you're asking about estrogen dominance, but I'm going to get to that in a second. I'm going to come back. Testosterone is also down. I have no desire to go to the gym. I have no desire for sex. I have very little desire I have very little capability of building muscle to boost metabolism to burn fat, right? So there's all of these hormonal things. This hormonal cascade happens not just from these chemicals we're talking about. We're also talking about from the overworkings of our life. When we're so overtapped and we're just checking things off our to-do list instead of checking things off of our should hug list, to love list. Maybe that should be a new thing we should invent. So to do, it's like to hug instead. I mean, that's just a side note, but yeah, oxytocin is a very important hormone that when it's not in abundance, our sex hormones drop, our stress hormones increase. And then this is the second part of the equation. And don't worry, stay to the end, you guys, because we've got solutions for all of this. And it's not going to happen all in 1 month. Believe me, we've got a whole system. We've got almost like the whole year kind of scheduled, thinking about what we're going to do next to walk you guys through this whole system, because however old you guys are, these things didn't happen overnight, right? Your hormonal imbalances did not happen overnight. So like London, I was 16, 17 when I first started really having major hormone issues. How old were you?
I got on birth control when I was 17. And then the first time I tried to get off, I was like 21. The second time I tried to get off, I was 24. And then now I'm 28. So I would say I started destroying my hormones at around 17. And then I really noticed the problems around my early 20s when my periods were just all over the place and I wasn't feeling right. And my skin, of course, was my biggest indicator. And with my job and your job too, when you're on social media all the time in front of the camera, whatever, it was like my biggest red light. But for a lot of people, it's different. So for some people, it's not having enough energy for their partner or for their children, or just having really crazy PMS, or menopause symptoms over the top. So whatever it is that's in your unique lifestyle that really screams out, that's kind of, attacking your normal life or your hormone balance is all going to be addressed here, which is super cool. So I had skin issues, but for some people, it's never their skin. It might be their sex drive or something else that we have pointed out, because everybody is different. So there's not like a one symptom is for everybody, but there's for sure going to be something that speaks to everybody for this. We've all gone through it.
Yep. And what you guys will see in that article that I just attached here, the DianeKazer.com/estrogen dominance 2. Obviously, I've written a lot about hormones for many journals, for a lot of different websites, for a lot of different companies. So it's like, at what point can you claim that you're a hormone expert? A lot of people will claim that they're the experts at things, but I really think that you're an expert in something when you could really look back and see a lot of testimonials and positive experiences where people go, what we were doing as a group has worked for me. And this is what my main mission in life is, to get you guys hormonal freedom so that you can get back to living the life that you desire and you dream of, as well as the body, and feel like you can really conquer the world and do anything. At this point, what I'm seeing is that pretty much every single female I'm testing, their hormones are completely shot, ladies. And this is a huge wake-up call. Sometimes you need to see your own hormone test. And I'm not talking about the blood test that doctors do for you, because most of them are going to be like, we don't know what's wrong, but we're going to listen to your symptoms. We're going to give you an antidepressant, or maybe we're going to give you birth control, and maybe we're going to give you some progesterone cream or some kind of thing to use to put internally, or, you've got a yeast infection. We're going to give you some diflucan. Oh, you always get UTIs. We're going to give you some macrobid, which is an antibiotic that they prescribed me for life. And I was like, these things just do not sound right. Like, what? Can we get to the bottom of this? And the system is creating the following. So I'm going to go through this. So this webinar, when you say to yourself, London and Diane are talking about birth control. They're talking about PMS. Well, maybe, some of you guys are listening. Maybe you're already, you're done. You're menopausal. Maybe you're going through menopause. Maybe you're postmenopausal. We've got women coming to us from all around the world for different reasons. Maybe you have PCOS. But here are just a few bullets I'm going to give you. These are just a few that are created by estrogen dominance. And I'll get to the next point, which is why estrogen dominance is so prevalent today. So here we go.
Another reason, I don't want to interrupt you, but another reason why people might be here too is because when your hormones are out of whack, it's hard for you to gain muscle and gain weight, but also to lose weight as well. Yep. And so so maybe you're here because you want to lose weight, or you want like some physical things, like maybe you're not really sure about your energy or your sex drive is okay, but the weight just seems to not come off. Yeah. And that's because when your hormones are out of balance, it's not going to do anything. Your body won't do anything that you want it to. Yeah. And so whether you're here for like physical ailments or things that maybe the doctors have told you that you have, that maybe you feel trapped, or maybe you're just here because you're like, I heard it's spring cleaning, bikini belly, get my sexy on, and that's why I want to be here. So I want to point that out too, because it could be that you've been struggling to like put on muscle, put on weight, or lose weight over and over and over again, and your body's just not responding. It could be that you need to figure out your balance, and then everything will kind of go from there. So I just want to that out too, because I think some people, maybe they don't even know that they have estrogen dominance or PCOS, or they're like, what does that even mean? Yeah. But maybe they're here because they want to be sexy and they don't feel or look in their own eyes sexy because of this out of balance feeling. So I feel like some people, it just spoke to me. I feel like some people are in here for that reason too. So you never know.
Oh, totally. And I want to say this. I poop 3 times a day, so I am not full of shit. And I mean that from like a mental perspective too, that I am doing, it took me this, I'm taking you guys on a shortcut with this, with London and Alex and Maya. We're taking you guys on a shortcut, the fast track to what took me 8 years of concentrated effort as a nutritionist. I have 5 certifications. If you guys are new to us, 5 certifications in the wellness industry, yoga, personal training, and then 3 nutrition ones. The main one being functional diagnostic nutrition. I'm also currently enrolled to be a holistic health coach and a naturopathic doctor. I'm still in debate whether or not I want to finish my naturopathic doctor designation, because they're subject to all of these, and Hillary, you just said something interesting. They're subject to a lot of crazy like laws and rules at that, you know, when you get to the doctor point, then there's only certain things you can or can't say. You're under this like scrutiny. So I'm still debating on that, but I know as much, if not more, than most naturopathic doctors that I know, because people are coming to me from naturopathic doctors. So that's not said from the ego, that's said because I have been through the trenches myself big time. I was one of the sickest women that I knew. My lab tests were awful, off the charts, with high of candida, which is, you know, a fungus, and that's what causes yeast infections, and bacteria and parasites and heavy metals. And my liver was overwhelmed, completely overwhelmed. I have a genetic mutation that I now know how to, your genes do not control your destiny, your body, your beauty, or your booty. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? Your genes can control you if you don't take control over them. So what we're going to teach you guys is, we're going to teach you guys to turn down the stressors that turn on your bad genes. Does that make sense? So we're going to teach you to get the toxins out of your life that actually turn on the bad genes that create dis-ease and disharmony. So while London's answering the door, is that like a...
Yeah, you know what? It's my oxytocin buddy. It's my boyfriend. He's bringing me my computer charger because I forgot it at work today. So
oh, sweet. Well, good. At least you got some power. So we're going to teach you guys how to get some more power. I'm going to go through the list right now, ladies. Estrogen dominance affects more Americans than ever in our history, and you're going to hear in about 2 minutes why. Painful, heavy clotting and or long periods, facial hair, pre-menstruation, menstrual tension, including emotional upset, frustration. So basically, perma bitch face, right? You know how people talk about that, like models, oh, perma bitch face. Well, we really feel that a lot of times, but we fake it on the outside. Like, I'm really not happy, but I'm pretending to be because I don't want to look crazy to everyone, right? Sinus issues, bowel irregularities, mood swings, PCOS, endometriosis, ovarian cysts, acne, weight gain or inability to lose weight, menopause. Yes, estrogen drops around 50, but it too is, when you compare that to progesterone, we're going to talk about the balance there needs to be. There's a dance between progesterone and estrogen. And right now, a lot of women are having 2-3 periods because there's not enough progesterone. And estrogen, when there's too high of estrogen, it's like a floodgate of blood just coming out. And that may sound super crazy to men, and that's why they're not on this webinar, except for Scott. But when there's not enough progesterone to keep the estrogen padded up, it just flows out. And then women are literally going into the doctor and they're just doing full ablation so they can't have periods anymore. That is not a solution. That is an awful, a Band-Aid and vaginal abuse. and I'm not having it anymore. So I want you guys to know that these are things that are not broken inside of you, but what it is an onslaught of a lot of these chemicals that we're going to take charge of and teach you guys how to get rid of. First of all, we're going to teach you a system, and then we're going to teach you how to keep them out of your life, like what we were just first talking about. So also menopause, migraines, breast cancer, hypothyroid, and hair loss. So, I mean, this is just a tiny, tiny, tiny list among women of why estrogen dominance is taking us down. And here is, are you guys ready for this? Okay, if you're not listening, just listen. Xenoestrogens. I want to know how many of you guys have heard of what xenoestrogens are. And I want to see if you guys can define that and aside. And yes, Maya, thank you. Infertility. A lot of women are spending, $15,000. I
love that one. That's a good one too. Mm-hmm.
Infertility. I got 5 women pregnant the first year I came out with the Warrior Cleanse, and I got several of them pregnant on accident, like they weren't trying to. And then in the first month, one woman had done, she was just about to do IVF therapy in another country. Her name is Jana, and she's her testimonials up on YouTube. And she found the Warrior Cleanse. She found me. She lives in South Africa. She did the Warrior Cleanse for a month and got pregnant instantly. And doctors were telling her to take this, do all these hormonal treatments. And she was about to go into debt with tens of thousands of dollars with IVF therapy and got pregnant and has a beautiful, beautiful baby girl now. So the main reason for all of these issues is toxicity. You, my lady friends, are not broken. The system is. And here's what a xenoestrogen, let me see if anybody answered it. Xenoestrogens.
I don't see if anyone, I think nobody even has heard of a xenoestrogen before.
Whoa,
they don't even know what to say. They don't know.
Okay. Ladies.
Krista says no idea. Never heard. I think a lot of people have heard of estrogen, but they think about it as internally like the female hormone. And that's like it. Because I think that's what I thought. So I think a lot of people thought what I thought too. Just basic.
Ladies, after you learn this stuff, you're going to want to scream it from the rooftops.
Mm-hmm.
It is the most assaultive chemical and perhaps thing that's ever happened to women. So we think about women's freedom right now. We've got all these people marching against like Trump and for women's rights and women's freedom. This is my passion, and this is going to be probably your number one on the radar passion moving forward, because it is that serious. So I've got an article here that I started to write, and I'm just going to read a couple things from it. Xenoestrogens are environmental hormone disruptors creating an imbalance with the body's hormones. Awareness of xenoestrogens and avoidance are key to sustaining health. So did you know that?
And let's name some places where people are exposed to xenoestrogens.
But let me give you the number first. Yeah, they're everywhere.
I mean, see them and spot them.
Yeah.
Like
they're everywhere. Yeah, I know exactly. Like we're gonna give you guys a shield. This next month, we're gonna first work on cleaning them out of your body. That's step 1. Step 2 is to help you identify and understand how to get them out of your life, and that will not happen overnight. So please, do not spike your cortisol, your stress hormone right now, thinking, "Oh my God, I'm overwhelmed." They're everywhere, because they are. It's just gonna be baby steps, you guys, and this is why we have this whole wave created for you. So this is a statistic we're going to share with Dave Asprey on this next radio show that we're going to be recording in an hour. It'll be episode 13 if you guys are interested in hearing it. It's going to be for the men and for the women. Awesome. It's going to be for men and women, but Dave Asprey is very well known. He's got over 1 million followers, Bulletproof Coffee. You guys may have heard of that. He biohacked himself and spent, at this point, millions of dollars trying to understand and crack the code on how to biohack our body naturally without all this synthetic, like pharmaceuticals and procedures and things, because those are actually what's causing more problems. Like the birth control pill is very estrogenic. It's synthetic estrogen. You'll see in the article that I wrote that the Premarin, which is the number one thing that's prescribed to women who are menopausal, is horse urine. And if you look at the labels of any of these prescriptions, they come with awful side effects, the number one being ovarian cancer. And did you guys know that the average 58-year-old male has more estrogen than his wife? That's really sad.
I didn't know that. That's new for me.
It's really sad because he has a lot more of a belly, right? And he's exposed to xenoestrogens. Are you ready to hear this number? There are some. Okay, now let me first describe this first paragraph. Xenoestrogens are foreign estrogens. They are estrogen mimickers that affect the estrogen in our bodies and can alter hormone activity. Growing evidence implicates xenoestrogens in a wide range of human and wildlife health problems. So why are these fish turning from male to female, right? Why are women getting their periods at 9? Why did I just say that a 9-year-old girl is a woman? Because she got her period, right? What's the driving age going to be? 10? Because she now got her, everything's going to go backwards. So these xenoestrogens are synthetic chemicals that are being made by man for improvement of humanity, right? These things were not around before the turn of the century. Now there are some 70,000 registered chemicals having hormonal effects. 70,000. When I said earlier, I'm going to give you guys 70,000 steps to hormonal freedom, that's what I mean. And I'm not going to give you 70,000 steps, but we are going to tell you guys in the next few months here, what the hell are these estrogens, and how do I get them out of my life? Because they're everywhere. If you see them on the television as a commercial, it's a xenoestrogen. Every single one of us is estrogen dominant based on that number. Every single one of us. And that is the root of your hormonal imbalances. So let's talk about what these xenoestrogens are. So London, can you name a few?
Birth control.
Yes, that's a big one.
Probably a lot of the lotions or things and creams that we're putting on our bodies. So like deodorant, lotion, face lotion, shampoo, conditioner, makeup.
Yep.
Where else? Plastic, probably. Yep. Like a lot of the non-BPA free stuff that our foods are packaged in, or that we think we're being good when we're meal prepping in like plastic containers, but really they're just like leaching chemicals all inside of our foods. Anybody else have anything? Maya says fragrances. Yes, that's what you do. You could seriously, like, you guys could just name pretty much any chemical, and it is a xenoestrogen. And what this does in the body, I'm going to give you guys a real quick chemistry explanation here. So there's cells, right? And there's receptor sites on our ovaries and our brain, on our adrenals. There's receptor sites in these places of our body, thyroid, and that's why I call it the Tao, thyroid, adrenal, ovaries, right? The Tao of hormones. So it's important to understand the concept of all the dance that all of these glands that make hormones and receive hormones have in our body. So when our adrenals and our ovaries make estrogen, they also make testosterone. They make sex hormones and stress hormones and sleep hormones, right? So our body, let's say pre-1900s, was just making those hormones on its own. There was no chemicals, right? Or I would say very little chemicals. We're just making on its own, and our brain receives, oh, okay, this is how, the gut communicates to the brain, okay, this is how much we've got estrogen, and we need a little bit more. So the brain text messages the adrenals, the ovaries, and says, hey, we need some more estrogen, sweetheart. Oh, okay, no problem. And we've got enough adaptive reserve. Like Tiffany just said something, that she's an adrenal failure. So there's just no way her adrenals are going to be able to kick out anymore, because her body is just turning into, it's stopping its functioning. The next step after that is, we don't want to talk about the C word, but this is where doctors are driving us today with these pharmaceuticals. Instead of, like you said earlier, London, looking at the cause of hormonal imbalance instead of adding more chemicals. So what happens is in pre-1900s, the body's able to make its own stuff, right? We had different problems then. Now we have new problems. So when we're exposed to all these xenoestrogens, the plastics, the parabens, the typical cleaning products, the bleaches, the Tides that we're using to clean our clothes with, the mouthwashes, the lotions we're putting on a face, like Maya said, fragrances. These things, BPA is the #1 cancer food that there is, because it is one of the top estrogen mimicking xenoestrogens that there are out there. And what happens is when we're exposed to all of this, and they've done studies on this, 97% of all of us have in excess levels of BPA that is not safe in our body. So plastic is one big thing to get away from. Now, we're not going to cover all of that this next month. I just want you guys to know why you're in the position that you're in, right? So take a deep breath. I am not overwhelmed. I am empowered, right? Okay. Yeah, that's totally true, because I mean, it took me working with you nearly 7 months to really get to that point where everything was all gravy. So I just hope that everyone knows this is not your quick fix. This is not your, super slim and 7-day plan. Like, you know, it's like, this is like education, and this is like mindset alteration, and this is like sisterhood coming together because of it, and learning and growing step by step. So don't feel like, and of course, like Diane said, we're not covering everything this month. So you're not like going to get a list of 70,000 chemicals and things you need to rid your house from. But every time, bit by bit, it's like bite size plus a little bit extra.
Right.
So it has to be manageable, but like a little bit out of your comfort zone, you know, then you're taking that in and figuring it out. So I think, yeah, I'm super excited about this one.
Awesome. And well said. This is sisterhood. So we see in the comments over here, I'm even seeing it. You guys are all chiming in and I'm like, yes, yes. And if any of you guys are out there, if any of you ladies are out there going, you know, and I'm hearing this a lot lately too. I just feel like I don't have a purpose in my life lately. Like I've kind of lost passion. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, what am I here for? All of these things you're saying over here, all these passions, what if your purpose was to go back to what we were supposed to do as women and be caregivers and be the ones that look after other people and spread this message? That is the act of unconditional love that boosts your oxytocin and starts to stabilize all of your hormones in your body. But we also have to make sure that we don't have all these chemicals coming in from the outside too. So even the water we drink, you know, we're giving kids all these plastic water bottles to drink from. I mean, it's just step by step and bit by bit. But a big one is parabens in personal care products. A big one is plastics. A big one is women being prescribed synthetic hormones that are causing, like, I think, who was it again? What was your name? Tiffany. Yeah, Tiffany. We're getting all these synthetic things being handed to us, and they're not the answer. And then they do not go away overnight. Also, candida, you know, the fungus also brings on extra estrogen. Extra fat makes more estrogen. So we are in an estrogen dominated environment. Why do you think it's so hard for me to find a good boyfriend? Because most of them are just estrogen dominant. Just kidding, sort of. Because a lot of us
better, and now yours is off and I don't have time.
No, it's true that we are all being exposed to more estrogen. So for women, that looks different than for men. For men, they're becoming more confused and like they've lost their drive, and women were like kind of the same, but in different ways. So this is stuff that we want to teach our kids. This is stuff we want to teach our significant others. And this is stuff we want to empower us with first. So we want you guys to take care of you first. So we're going to teach you in the coming months how to get these things out of your life. This next one we are going to teach you guys, because I know the number one thing that we're spraying, you know, we're using as a vagina deodorant has a ton of petrochemicals in it. And petrochemicals are very estrogenic. So these isobutanes, polybutanes, you're going to see these in your personal care products. That's like backing your beautiful vagina up into the Shell gas station saying, fill me up right in the vagina. Does that make any sense? Like what's...
I know, it's crazy. It's so crazy, that type of stuff that we're spraying in, on, around our bodies. Like I can't even anymore. Like I cannot even. Like I cannot even go to like the body shops or to this place or to or we have the Body Shop in Austria. We have the BIPA, which is like our CVS where you just buy all these like quick products. Like no, I went on a trip with my friends to London. We did a trip to London.
London.
Whole bag full of all my essential oils, you know, and every time I go through TSA, they're like pulling out all my supplements, all my stuff or whatever. But I have all those oils, and then someone had a cough, I'm all, here, put this oil on you here. And someone had this problem, I'm like, I have everything here. Like it's like my kit and caboodle for everything from like lotion to like when I get sick. It's all up in this mix. So I'm super excited about what we have for them this month.
Like this.
They're going to be able
small kit. So like what she just said, we're going to talk about that next, because now the next step is to be the hero for your hormones, right? So you're going to be your own hormone hero. The fact that you guys even showed up today makes you your own hormone hero. Now we're just the messengers, right? So I want you guys to really understand that the power is already within you to heal yourself. We just have to get the interference out of the way, the chemicals out of the way, so that the real you can shine through, and then the oxytocin can be inspired with this community. And convenience, right? So we're going to talk about the next few things, which is convenience and cost. And these things that we've created for you guys, we've also made it to our, I don't know if you guys knows about me, but I was a financial advisor for 8 years. So I'm always trying to think about ways to make health more convenient and costly in a way that is, and you know, convenient being like, you can take it with you. You know, Maya just had an event, and she's one of our coaches too, over the weekend. And I walked into the event and I'm like, I smell lemongrass. I smell lemongrass. And lemongrass is a very powerful anti-estrogenic. So little things, and there was hundreds of people that came to this event. So Maya has literally dropped the estrogen, synthetic estrogen, xenoestrogen exposure to people from breathing into their sinuses. And instead of getting allergies and sinus issues and skin problems, people left there probably more vibrant because they had less of this toxic exposure. So there's just little tiny things that we can do to be other people's hormone heroes over time, but we start with you. So I want to turn this over, so because you guys are saying a lot of really amazing things in the comments. You've read my book and you saw this on Twitter. Oh, really? Oh, see, Monique, people are not going to find us as a group on accident, by accident. This is the energy that we're creating, putting out there, and we're just going to keep drawing more women to this because they're looking for it. You know, when they say the student is ready to teach your peers. So you guys are here and you're our students and we're your teachers for now, and then you're going to be the next best teacher, and we're just going to keep inspiring people all around the world. This is how we change the world, is one unicorn warrior at a time. So let's move on to the solutions, shall we? Okay, so you've got everything in front of you, right, London?
I have it right here in my supplement cabinet. Yep.
Okay, cool. So what we did for you guys here is we put our horns together and we thought, okay, what are the best things that we can do to get you guys started to just first focus on getting this stuff out of your body. So we're going to give you like kind of a broom, and it's not complicated. It's just like we're giving you the easy steps first, and then we're going to start working toward, you know, I always like to focus on the big impact, easier to do box. And then we move over to the not as easy to do, but big impact. We don't really want to focus on, you know, the things that are small impact, but hard to do. And that right now is overworking yourself in the gym and eating less calories and crash dieting. That's the really hard to do, very little impact, if not making worse of an impact. We're going to focus on the other box up here, which is easy to do and very, very big impact. So right now, oh, I forgot to mention this. As a chemistry thing, I didn't close this out. So the xenoestrogens are binding to our receptor sites, right? And so the body thinks that there's a lot of estrogen. So we don't make our own estrogen. So our own estrogen can't get into the cells to do its job, to activate things in the body. So that's what's happening, is we're making enough estrogen by our body, but it can't get in. So now we're estrogen deficient with our own hormones, but estrogen dominant with synthetic hormones. Major problem, and that's what's causing the issues, you guys. So what we need to do is get the crap out so it's not binding to the gates so that your own estrogen can get in and you don't need all this stuff from the outside. That's as simple as it needs to be right now, okay? Because we just want to get the junk out, because these things are tricking our bodies, really tricking our bodies. So we're going to talk about 3 different things right now. We're going to talk about some phytoestrogens that are derived from plants, and that binds those receptors so the bad guys can't get in. Those are the ones that are causing cancer and all these hormone issues, and that your own natural estrogens can get in. So we're going to talk about phytoestrogens. We're going to talk about minerals, because number one right now, women, when we're stressed out, and we've got a lot of cortisol output, which is our stress hormone, which is what our body's making like 24/7, and that's a big part of the problem. What we need to do is, first of all, we need to reduce some stress, but we also need to change how our body responds to stress. So adaptogens are powerful. We're going to talk about that this next month too. If you did our last challenge with us, you're already doing adaptogens like ashwagandha, like in the trim shake, and the maca and some of the other things. We're going to teach you more of that, right? So how to better adapt to stress. And then the third part to that is when we're stressed out, which is all day, right? Like all of us, we just don't ever slow down. That depletes magnesium. And magnesium is a very powerful mineral that gives us energy, that helps us have beautiful skin, that helps us sleep, that helps us poop, that helps with our moods. It's a very powerful mineral, and 80% plus of us are deficient in magnesium. And so we have magnesium, we've got minerals, we've got calcium, we've got potassium. So a lot of us have like a lot of cramps, a lot of fatigue, that's potassium, a lot of bruising, a lot of bags under our eyes, potassium. So we're going to talk about minerals. We're not going to talk about all of it in this webinar. We're just going to tell you guys that these are the solutions that are coming out, right? So let's have you hold that up in the camera, London.
Which one?
Yeah, we'll talk about the phytoestrogens first, because it's the first one I talked about. Okay, so the phytoestrogen that's the number one we're going to work with. And that one there, Jenna, I know that you can chime in on this one, because you were the first one that actually got me to start thinking about that for my lady clients. But when I put women on the phytoestrogen lifetime complex, this is when they started to say, I think it's working. And it was only a week in By a month after that, they were like, I know that this blend, not just that, but the whole kit made an extreme difference in their hormonal balance and hormonal harmony. So like we talked about, it's not going to be your one-stop shop and like in 30 days you're done. But this is just the start of getting these stripping these toxins away like the Velcro that they are to your cells, so that your real natural estrogen can get in and your body can start blossoming again, like the spring that we're about to move into. So that's that one. And then there's also the mineral one. So can you hold up the mineral one, please? Awesome. So that's bone nutrients. So now, number one issue we have right now with women is we've got a calcium toxicity in the body, but not enough calcium in the bones. Same thing I just said, right? Too much synthetic estrogen, not enough natural estrogen in the cells. So when our own estrogen can't get used, then it's no good to us because we've got all this synthetic stuff going on around us. So the same thing is happening with calcium. Calcium is, we're leaching calcium and we're getting stones, calcification, bone spurs, kidney stones, gallstones. Oh, oops, gallbladder's got to get removed because they're in the wrong spot. Calcium's going to the wrong places. So what we need to do is make sure that these minerals are getting into the right places and they're the right kind of minerals. If you guys go buy the cheapest supplement in the store right now, you know, I'm not going to say names, but if you go buy the cheapest supplement.
I don't even know names.
Oh,
I don't think I would know what they have there. Like, I really don't.
People can name them over there, I know, but there's a lot of, you know, like Centrum is the #1 multivitamin. That's because doctors recommend it. But
I remember this.
Yep. So, yep, exactly. And so a lot of these things are, they're not made, they're not Mother Nature. They're made in the lab and they're not getting into our tissues. They're creating stones. And that's creating dis-ease and disharmony in the body. So we want to get the natural stuff in, and that's why we're using these ones here. Maya says, is the bone one good for men as well, especially in terms of kidney stones? Yeah, I'm not sure about that, Maya. I'm specifically, this is a women's kit, so I know that there is these are good levels of minerals for people in general, but we women need much more because we deplete our hormones more. We have higher levels of stress. We can't sustain as much stress. So I'm going to shelf that one for now because I know that's specifically for women. But yeah, and then Jana says, it's a lifesaver for me. I had a hysterectomy and won't take replacements. This works amazing for me. I know myself when I'm off of them, I feel a significant difference. So those are two, you guys. Those are two right now. And magnesium specifically, you know, there are literally thousands and thousands of supplements on the market. If you go out there and spend, you know, if you go to a CVS and get BOGO, buy one, get one free, then your body is definitely not going to be free of hormone imbalance. So you definitely are creating an investment in your health by making sure that you're using the right kinds. There are multiple different types of magnesiums, magnesium citrate, glycinate. There's different kinds of minerals. So we've cut out all the science about it. So you guys don't even have to think about it. You just do this, feel better, report back to us, and we course correct because you're in a community. If something is not working for you, if you're feeling like, you know, something gave me a symptom, you're in a Facebook group with all of us and we can help you. So that's where the community comes in, is you have oxytocin, you have support, you have accountability, you have a camaraderie. And then you see success stories and you're motivated, right? So if you're like, oh, I've been really just slacking. Why? Let's bring you up. Let's pull you up. So let's talk about the essential oil blend, and let's talk about your experience with that.
Mine doesn't have the sticker on it because I took it off, but it's the Clary Calm one.
Oh, cool. Okay, so what was your experience with that?
I love this one. This one, I loved this one because, like, when I was going through my hormone journey and everything, it was like my brain was in overload as far as not just like information, but just like I want everything to work now. I was very like heightened and tense. Right. And this blend was super calming. And I used this like at first, just at nighttime, I would use the roller like behind here, as well as on my ovaries and on my gallbladder and on my feet and stuff. And I would feel super calm when I would come home at night and I had my shower and I put these oils on and I was like, I asked you, I think, can I use this like all the time? And you're like, yeah, just use it like whenever you want. Like a perfume. And so now I have one here at home with me. I have one in my desk drawer at the office. I keep one in my gym bag. And it's just like, there's the ylang ylang and clary sage and lavender and things that are like really calming and good for hormone balance. And it smells absolutely amazing. And so I love it because it was like my trigger in the evening to really come down and get calm and like time for bed. And then in my head, I'm thinking, but like, can I use this all the time? So as soon as I asked you and you were like, yeah, girl, like whenever, it's just like my game. I just put it all over. It's super calming. The smells are like perfect. They're not overbearing. Plus, I mean, all of the benefits of ylang ylang and clary sage, which you guys will learn in our during this month, are just like absolutely insane when it comes to hormones. I think those oils are kind of what really help to balance everything out, but also to really help me deal with me, if that makes sense. You know,
no, totally.
Everything is like you said, and like Hillary mentioned too, it's like almost like we're just like, it's cool to be busy all the time, you know? And so I was busy with work and I was busy with this, and then I wanted to heal my hormones. And this was like my chill pill. It was just, it really was. And super small, and I don't really know why it was that particular thing. It was probably everything all together. But now it's like, as soon as I smell it, I just know it's like everything's going to be okay. I know that's like kind of weird, but it's like, not only was it the feeling that I got, but also from like the smell of it over and over and putting it on my body. It was just a good time to like, it was like my me time. Like I would go and I would take this, you know, put it here, like, okay, everything smells good. It was like my 30 seconds to just like bring it down. And so, yeah, this is something that like I'll always use forever and ever.
Yeah. And
this is like,
Alex just said what I was going to say too. It's better than perfume. And, you know, instead of backing your beautiful vagina up to a Shell station and saying, can you please fill me up with, you know, diesel number, whatever, or like ultra super unleaded into my vagina, which is exactly what we're doing with all these synthetic chemicals. We're spraying our body all day long with like Bath and Body Works and all kinds of stuff. And it's all just creating more hormonal disarray. And it's literally making us fat, sick, and nearly dead, or fat, fatigued, and frustrated is what I say, you know, in all of my Sexy Body series. So I'm just going to state, this is just like off of one sheet that I'm going to be putting on a web page so that you guys can see all of this. But yeah, like essential oils don't do just one thing, says Scott. Many women use this for stress as well as that time of the month. Exactly. So if I ever have cramps, which is very rare, I don't have any side effects of much of anything anymore, but I'll put it like over my ovaries, you know, whichever side, because our one side of our ovary grows one time of the month. So it might be our right side, it might be our left side. So you always look down and say, oh, look, my left ovary is growing. That's where the eggs drop in this month. So you can put on that side to restore balance so you don't get the cramps. The essential oils have been around for thousands and thousands of years. And in fact, this is actually what they have mimicked pharmaceuticals after. They have taken the genetic strains of all these beautiful plants and said, well, we can't patent Mother Nature. So we're going to take those DNA strains, we're going to put it in the lab, we're going to tweak it just a little bit, add some binders and other synthetic colors and other petrochemicals to it, and gluten and dairy, which I don't know if you guys know this, but are pretty much in every single drug. Like if you're celiac and you're taking a drug, there's a lot of these things, or even gluten issues, or if you have lactose issues, they're in pharmaceuticals. But a lot of these beautiful, beautiful essential oils, plants, they were created in a lab, just spliced just so slightly, and then sold to you for thousands of times higher. And I've done lots and lots of research, read lots of books on this whole thing so that you guys can hear this from me, but I can provide any of these books that you'd like to, if you'd like to really read on them. This is not just hearsay. This is not conspiracy. This is true in fact. So this essential oil blends, clary sage, this is why you experience what you experience, London, and what you guys are going to experience by having these oils around. Clary sage helps to ease muscle tension, mood lifting, hormone balancing. Lavender is calming, supports natural hormone levels. Bergamot, emotionally uplifting, helps ease muscle tension. Roman chamomile, esters are relaxing and help ease muscle tension. Cedarwood, it supports natural hormone levels. Ylang ylang helps with stress, phytoestrogenic, which is the good kind. Geranium helps balance endocrine system, calming, phytoestrogenic. Fennel supports estrogen production and lactation. Carrot seed helps supports healthy endocrine activity. Palmarosa, soothing to the body, supports healthy thyroid levels. And my favorite, Vitex chasteberry, considered bio-identical to phytoestrogen and antispasmodic. So Vitex chasteberry is one of the most powerful in all of those ingredients, although all of them together synergistically create beautiful, powerful magic for women so that we can restore our hormone levels. But Vitex is a huge one. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of documents and studies and sites and articles and resources on that alone. And so that's one of many things in there. So those are the three we just talked about. Then there's other ones too, which is the Trim Shake, which I talked about. If you guys ordered it last month, time to reorder. There's 40 servings in there, but I typically use like 2 scoops each time. So it's like 20 servings or so. There's a trim shake that's got an adaptogen in it called ashwagandha, which helps you to cope with stress better. So it helps you to respond to stress better. So you're not so like, perma bitch face all the time because you're like, I need to feel important. So I need to pack my schedule and I need to be crazy busy and I need to be like, all over the place. It helps you to cope with stress better. So there's that. And then there's also a trio of peppermint, lavender, and lemon. And we're going to teach you guys how lemon is one of the most powerful. It is the most powerful BPA flusher from liver, which is estrogenic, plastic, right? Liver is powerful for that. Peppermint is also very helpful for bacteria overgrowth. It is also very powerful for the bloating, very powerful for breath. I mean, I can go on and on and on. Lavender is calming. And we're going to teach you guys how to make your own beautiful vaginal deodorant spray. Yes. And you could use that on your pillow. You could use that on your significant other. You could use it on your pets. This is the least toxic thing. And in fact, there are no toxins in it that you could use to fragrance yourself so that you don't smell, over time when you're getting these toxins out, you won't smell as bad or odory. A lot of women have a lot of insecurities about smelling down there. And these are things that are going to go down over time because you're going to get the stuff out that creates that kind of disharmony. I don't know if you can comment on that one, London, but because you didn't really.
No, but regarding what Scott says, how essential oils can be used for many different things. I think you mentioned like 2 for each, but there are like between the 3 of them, I think hundreds of ways that you can use them in your home, in your food, on your body, and things like that too, that are really, really going to help and be completely awesome. This morning, I put lemon and peppermint in my water, and I like look over and my coworker is like right next to my water cup, just like going like this. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, it smells so good. It's so amazing. So it's like, not only is it like we know because we're in the know of what it's doing for our bodies and how awesome it is, but it's like smells amazing. And sometimes your testimonial to other people or people next to you is going to be like, oh yeah, he smelt me. And he said, what does that smell? And that's how that conversation started, So yeah, whatever. Maybe he didn't smell me now. I just came back from the gym, but
I don't smell anymore at the gym.
Yeah. So this is like a lot of information, and you're going to learn so much, but be open that when you're doing something or trying something new, people are going to ask like, well, what is that? What does that mean? Why are you doing that? Or that smells good. What is that? So whether you like it or not, people are going to want to know what you're doing because you're going to be feeling and looking good and feeling awesome and confident and less stressed. And people are going to want a little bit of what you have. So just be excited about that and be ready to share it. And I think that those 3 oils they're so awesome. Like I only knew when I first got those oils, one use for each of them. Yep. So I knew I could put lemon in my water. I knew I could smell peppermint or put it here if I had like headaches or congestion problems. And I knew I could put lavender on my feet and some other parts of my body for bed. And now I've just those 3 uses alone already sold me, but there is so many more, and they're so fun and so many cool creative ways and things that you for sure never knew before. Yep. So I think that's going to be a really fun part for a lot of people, is kind of exploring how they can use those essential oils in hundreds of different ways. Pheromones,
unconditional love, and neurotransmitters. Fun.
There you go.
Well, pheromones spelled with a P, but anyway, I just got super sciencey. You guys know I'm really about acronyms, but really next month is April. It's about spring cleaning. It's about we want you guys to be able to spring forward into a summer that you'll never forget because you are empowered with this information, and not to get you guys to like the point of like phobia. We don't want you to have orthorexia or anything like that. We're going to teach you in a paced manner, and we're going to teach you how to judge everyone else who's using chemicals. We're going to teach you how to judge people and shame them and make them feel awful. And we're just kidding. We're not going to have you guys do that. No, but we are going to teach you guys to not take it.
Thank you. Hold your Clorox. Yeah. I have my concoctions. Thank you.
No, I don't
need you to wash my clothes because I have a special detergent for my clothes.
No, that's just boring. This is what I'm going to teach you guys to do. Someone's going to walk in and you're like, get that crap away from me.
That's what does that smell?
You're disrupting my hormones. Your hormone disruptors are not welcome in my house. Get out of here with your Glade plug-in. Yeah. No, I will not take your hormones. See, like
that's a good thing. Yeah. Or if you're on a date and you're trying to skedaddle and you're like, or he wants like, hey, you want to come over? You're like, no, I'm sorry. There's too many synthetic estrogens in your home. I cannot.
Yeah, your cologne is awful. Hey, here, honey, let's go have some sushi. Want some soy sauce? You get that endocrine disruptor out of my face. That's what we're going to teach you guys in this next challenge. Okay, no, I used to
all the
comeback.
No,
that's actually when I first learned this stuff, you guys, I did get really pissed off, and I wasn't pissed off at like other people. I was pissed off that this has actually been, this has not been taught to us. This is not in school. This is happening around us. And this is the stuff that the FDA is allowing. So I'm not okay with it. I have turned it into, fun. We really do need to turn this into humor, into empowerment, into just, making this, and really what you learn too is to put your foot down to stuff. You learn to say no. A lot of women have problems saying no today, and hence we overpack our schedule. So this is learning the power of no. Yes to things that are going to empower me, and no to things that are going to drown me. We're creating a wave here. And that takes time. So the momentum starts with you, yourself first. So here's what we're going to do. I did go a little bit longer, but yeah, London, the toilet sprays at work. Oh my God. And when you walk into gyms and there's like a Glade plug-in, like attacking your face, I'm like,
yeah, that's what Kirsten was saying, that Glade plugins get her. And I think at work we have like a Glade spray.
Yeah.
And it's like, someone maybe goes to the bathroom and they're like, shh, got to make it smell good for the next person. And I walk in and I'm,
yeah, you're like, oh, my hormones, like your hormones.
Oh, that's the worst. So sometimes if it's not an emergency, then I just go to the other restroom. Yeah. But if it is an emergency, I'm just like.
And you guys, the reason over time, the more and more we're exposed to these, the more and more we're going to get more and more sensitive to them. So like, you're going to say like, all of a sudden I couldn't handle any chemicals. All of a sudden I walked around in public and I was more sensitive to all these things. I could smell them more. And that's because we're toxic. So the less toxic we are, the less we're going to be sensitive to them. So we're going to get you to that point. So next month, this is how it's going to work. And this is how we're going to empower you. So I'm going to be sending everybody a link tonight. So there's 2 ways that you can get yourself started. I don't know how many people are new here. I know some people are revisiting that have already signed up with us in doTERRA. doTERRA is a way that we have found to make it really simple for you guys to be empowered with these tools and products. Anyone from around the world can do this. So we pretty much are in every country at this point. So if you're from a different country and you want to sign up, London's in Austria, I'm in America. We've also got Famida from Canada. So different people from different countries, and you guys can all sign up. If you have any question about it, let us know. If you already are signed up with us in our team, then we're going to teach you guys how to just add these to your next month's order. So it'd be like the very first part of April. Once you guys get them, we're going to have exactly what to do with them. We're still going to have stuff to do. Maya's going to be creating some recipes for us that are really awesome aphrodisiacs that give us some awesome sexual health and energy. It's not just for sex health, it's for motivation too. And also some things that are very powerful and rich and dim and indole-3 carbinol, which are things that help to flush estrogen from our body. So we're gonna have some recipes, we're gonna have some workouts, we're gonna have some yoga stuff, but it's gonna be also the things to buy. So we wanna make sure you guys get these things in time. You'll get them probably by about like the first week of April. So we're gonna have all those instructions for you guys so you can order on your own. For new people, we do wanna know who's new in here, so let us know so we can send you the link so we can get you started. I have a form for you guys to fill out, just like last month if you guys did the Sexy Booty Challenge. If you guys are already signed up with doTERRA and you want to tell your friends about it, I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but you can accumulate points and rewards, and you can also start earning side income from this too. So what I really love about this is that we empower each other with knowledge, and then we get thanked not just from the testimonial of saving other women's lives and other future women's lives, but we also get thanked with, financially. We get free products, we get rewards, we get points. So if you guys want to, like some coaches on here have literally started thinking about leaving their job and doing this and becoming a health coach. So sky's the limit. If that's what you want to do, then that's what you can do. So please shoot us each an individual email. We want you guys to let us know if you are somebody who is a coach right now, or if you signed up for doTERRA and you want to tell your friends about this. We're going to teach you guys how to do that and how to bring people on board. But right now I'm going to keep it super simple. I created a form for all of us. So all you have to do is fill out that form. And you're just going to check a box and say, I agree to these terms and conditions. These are the products we're going to get. It's going to total about $150 for all these products, plus shipping and then plus tax. It'll come up to about $200 or so. And with that, you're going to get the confirmation email where you're going to get that from doTERRA. It's going to come to you for you guys, it's going to come to you for the new people within about a week from the time that you send us that form. For everybody else who's already signed up with doTERRA, it's going to come for that first week. So your order is going to go through like April 1st and you'll get them about April 7th. So we're going to start this challenge April 1st, but you're going to get your products around April 7th. So some people are going to already have their products, some people won't, but we're going to have everything ready for you guys, ready to go by April 1st. So you can start whenever you get your products. You don't need your products to get started, you guys. Products are not your savior. Your lifestyle is your savior.
in our last challenge too, there were some people who maybe didn't check out the Facebook group and they were just like, I don't have my products yet, so I can't even right now, you know, but just be really active in that Facebook group. We'll be doing a lot of stuff where you don't even need anything but yourself. So just be ready to rock and dive in on April 1st, whether you have your products or some things haven't arrived yet. There'll be stuff for everybody to do, plenty of stuff going on, and plenty of good information and unicorn love to be spread around. So just be sure that come April 1st, you're ready to rock. Who cares where your package is in limbo? It will get to you, and then you'll be ready already with those good habits, and those products will just be like, okay, cool, add this one, instead of feeling like as soon as everything comes, you have to start from square one. So I want to avoid that anyone does that this month because there's no need. We'll be rocking all month.
No cortisol spiking allowed, ladies. If you're stressed out and overwhelmed about all of this, I question why you would feel that, because you're now in a community where you can ask questions. And if you don't ask questions for support, then that's your own fault. I've done that in the past too. Like I wasn't asking for help and I'm like, I'm so overwhelmed. Like, because I'm not asking for help. So you've got to enlist the support of other people to help lift you up. Like, I'm a little overwhelmed. Where do I find this? But you also have to take the time to sit down and de-stress. So give yourself, at least in the very beginning of this, give yourself some time to sit down and develop new systems. Because the biggest problem right now is lack of knowledge and lack of systems. And we're giving you the system. It's taken a decade for me to build this. So it's really awesome. This next month is going to be really empowering. So if you guys are a coach already and you guys have people that you want to refer into this, you're like, yeah, at this point, I hope that you guys are all thinking every woman needs to know this. And we really want to spread the word. We need your help to spread this wave. And you will get thanked for it, because the form I'm going to send out for everyone it has in there who referred you. So Tiffany, you're new. So let's say you order some stuff, you get your stuff, and you're like, oh my God, I want to tell my girlfriends about this. If you send them the link with the form to sign up, then it's going to have you as a referee, and you're going to get that credit. You're going to get, money for it. You're going to get rewards. You're going to get points. You're going to get free product. So this is what's really cool about it, is that we're all spreading the word together and we all get thanked. And this is the power of network marketing. This is why this is the only company that I'm with network marketing, because sometimes MLMs get a bad rap. But this company is truly transforming the way that we live and getting estrogens, synthetic estrogens out of our life, and helping us take our knowledge back on how to truly keep our homes clean and safe away from these xenoestrogens that are literally killing our children. Not okay. Or preventing us from having children. Not okay. Or getting us to the point where we feel like children, helpless. Again, not okay. Not okay. So I'm gonna take this webinar to a close at this point, because I've got to go interview Dave Asprey with Dr. Kat now. So you guys can also check out eatplaysex.com. That's our new podcast. We've got about 10 episodes up now. That's also truly inspiring. Just knowledge is power, you guys. The more you feed your brain with the truth, then you can change your life. And these things don't have to take charge of you anymore. You can take your whole life back with the knowledge that we're going to give to you. So I hope you share this with other people. We're going to have the replay up with the webinar. So just hang tight. This will take me to the end of the day to get this up, so you could share the link with other people and then you can start your sign up. So who's ready to go? I want to hear in the comments, who's ready to sign up with us? Who's ready to get started for April? Because this is going to be one of the most amazing challenges. Hands down, we have been building this up the last 3 months for this month. This is the one. This is the one that's going to start really changing you and opening up your eyes and your ovaries and your adrenals and your thyroids and your schedules.
Everything.
Totally.
All of it. I'm super excited. It's going to be awesome.
Yep. Okay, guys, if you have any questions, some of you guys came here from Alex today. Some of you guys came here from London today. Some of you guys came here from Maya. We want you to know how much we love you and how much we thank you for loving yourself enough to be here for you and your loved ones. It really means a lot to us. Thank you for trusting us to allow you to be guided for this last hour. And please have an amazing week. It's Monday, and it typically is the crazy busiest time of the week. So take a deep breath. Exhale love, oxytocin, and a ton of love, because that's what you can expect moving forward from this community if it's your first time. And if you're a comeback, just let's keep going, because it's not going to stop. This wave is not going to stop.
No.
All right. Thanks, everybody. London, any last things you want to say?
No, I'm super excited for everyone to be on board. And I think just as a closing note, I told this to a friend of mine the other day. When I started working with you and just started getting into all of this 6-7 months ago, I remember thinking, okay, I need to start when like everything is like fine and like everything is okay and I'm ready. But then I ended up signing up with you on like one of the busiest weeks that I ever had last year. We were traveling to 3 different countries in 3 days to do 3 photo shoots. I signed up with you. I started some protocol, and it was just like, and it was the best decision I ever made, because when you wait for all of the circumstances and like life and everything to line up for you to just go, it's not going to ever it's not going to ever work that way. So no matter where you are, if you're, you know, in one extreme or the other, or super busy or crazy or whatever, it doesn't matter. Everyone can start on April 1st, no matter where they are, no matter what their schedule is like, because it can't wait. It can't wait. And I wish I would have known about it sooner, but I just love the fact that I started at that time when things were really crazy, because it didn't matter. It had to get done anyway. So yeah, I'm excited to cover it with everyone.
So well said. Like our health, what do we have if we don't have our health? What do we have if we don't have energy? What if we don't have clarity? And unfortunately for many women today, we are the last person on our list for everything. We are the last person we're thinking about. And that's just not okay, because our kids deserve better than that. Our spouses, our significant others, our families deserve better than that. They deserve our full presence and heart and attention. And we just can't be that way when we rob ourselves of our own love and relaxation. And so this is the best gift that you can give yourself, is the sisterhood and the system that we've created for you guys to find your path back to yourself and to keep you there. So there's no better time. It's not going to ever, there's never perfect time. Never. You know that. So yeah, we'll send you guys out the link. All of you guys are on our registration email, so I'll be sending out the link tonight as the update, so you guys can see the replay and share it. And there will also be the form in there to get yourself started. If you're new, there's going to be a different way that we're going to have you guys. If you guys are already part of our team and you're already in a sisterhood, then we're just going to give you a separate video link so that you know how to order them, so we can get you guys ready, so that come April 7th or so, when everybody has their supplements, we get right into it. But April 1st is when we start everything else. So I want you guys to mark your calendar right now. April 1st is the day that you're going to start loving yourself more. Yeah, I like it. Cool. Okay. Oxytocin to all. Oxytocin to everybody. Love you guys. Go rock your Monday. Bye.
Bye.